Neon is the latest agent to arrive in Valorant, and this electrifying duelist has caught the eye of many fans due to her fast-paced nature and explosive kit. Here are some tips and tricks to succeed with Neon. Let's get started by quickly running through her abilities. Her first basic ability is Fast Lane and costs 300 creds. This ability creates a lane made of 2 electrified walls that block enemy vision and damage any opponents who pass through it. The lanes will extend quite far unless they are interrupted by a surface. It's important to note that when using this ability, you can clip through some walls and objects and extend your walls past them. If your crosshair is aiming next to the object, it seemingly passes through and carries on building its walls. Her second basic ability is Relay Bolt and costs 200 creds. This fires a bolt that can bounce off walls and electrify the ground below with a concussive blow. This bolt can bounce more than one time, so if you want to maximize its effectiveness, try to bounce it off multiple walls since it has almost no fall off when fired. You can fire it very straight over long distances. Her signature ability is High Gear, which is a free ability. This ability has 2 parts. The first gives Neon increased speed, which consumes energy to use and recharges over time. The second part is an electric knee slide, when pressing Alt Fire, that can be used once but can recharge after getting 2 kills in the round. It's also important to note that the slide can't be cancelled, so be careful how you use it. You'll also automatically swap back to your last weapon when you slide, so ensure you have your lethal out and not a melee unless you're trying to stab someone. Finally, Neon's ultimate is Overdrive and costs 7 ultimate points. This gives Neon increased speed and turns her into a deadly lightning beam with high movement accuracy, with the duration resetting with each kill. Given the almost non-existent movement penalty, this is a perfect run and gun ability which has unlimited ammo, so pre-fire and spam it around corners or through smokes and other obstacles obstructing your vision. So what are the best practices for using Neon? As a duelist, she's a great entry fragger and can really open the door for her team with some early kills and a smoother entry into compact bomb sites. When you're attacking a bomb site, you can use Fast Lane to obstruct the enemy vision and give your team a safe passage. You'll want to cast it in a lane that gives your team the safest passage into the site and as many options as possible for an exit. While players may be able to hear your movement, it's hard to anticipate a knee slide, so using High Gear to slide through walls and catch enemies off guard is both satisfying and effective. While it's great for attacking, it's also brilliant for defensive situations and slowing down enemies. In this scenario, you'll need to cast it at an angle that forces opponents to pass through walls, if they dare, and block all ways through. Should an enemy be brave enough to pass through it, a well-placed relay bolt will halt their advance. As the relay bolt travels far and can bounce multiple times, you can work out some great angles to block off and obstruct some crucial areas of the map. This will give your team an easier time getting into the site unscathed. With Neon's High Gear speed boost, you'll be able to rotate between bomb sites very quickly and cover open spaces much easier. When on defense, it's worth hanging back on one site and using High Gear to quickly rotate should the situation call for it. With Neon's ultimate, it's a super effective weapon for dealing with multiple enemies as there are limited movement penalties, unlimited ammo, and it deals a lot of damage. Use it to strafe around enemies and pre-fire entry points to keep the enemy at bay. And if you're in a clutch situation, it's always a reliable tool to have to see out a round. So what about the best weapons to use with Neon? It sounds cheesy, but the Judge and other close range weapons like the Bucky and Spectre work a treat. Some of these weapons struggle at range, but given Neon's kit, they become much more regularly viable and deadly options. So when using them, use the Fast Lane ability to block your enemy's vision. If you need to slow them down even more, use the Relay Bolt. And finally, activate High Gear and knee slide right into the heart of the enemy and unleash lead. So who are you going to look to synergize with when playing as Neon? There are some agents that are devastating when paired with Neon. In particular, Viper and Neon link up very well using Fast Lane and Toxic Screen. These abilities combined divide large areas of the map, making it impossible for opponents to cross through without taking insane amounts of damage. Agents that also use a flash ability such as Phoenix and Sky give Neon a much more consistent entry into bomb sites, allowing her to use her slide and catch players off guard. Lastly, we'd also highlight Sage as a strong partner, as she can use your Fast Lane to safely place a barrier orb in more intrusive positions on the map. You can also hop onto the wall and Sage can lift you above it to catch players out. Lastly, she can also heal or revive you once you exit the fray. We hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, do drop a like rating and subscribe for more Valorant content. And if you're looking to upgrade your setup with a new keyboard, mouse or headset to dominate in Valorant, check out ROCCAT.com.